There's this movie on the school. There's a movie on the school, how children learn, how they grow up, how they have friends. Do you have lots of friends?
Yes.
Hi friends, I'm Nitin and this is my school, the Shriram School. I've been in this school since I was 4 years old. Whenever I bump into my primary teachers, they say, wow, you've grown so tall. There's something like a magic in their voice which makes me feel, yes, I'm ready to face the world.
Our school, the Shriram School, was established in 1988. I wasn't even born then. Our school is a child-centric school, as we're all treated like heroes. I'm echoing the feelings of the 2,500 students spread across all 3 campuses. Depending upon our aptitude and ability, we can opt for any of the 3 curricula offered by our school: the ICSE, the IB, and the NIOS.
Our school offers integrated and inclusive schooling experience to students with special needs through its Special Education Needs Department. What began with 12 students, 4 special educators and 1 counselor way back in 1997 is today a full-fledged center with 125 students, 33 staff members and 4 consultants. All this and more to go.
Just so happened a friend of mine who had a child who was at that time not, he was a short child and no school was willing to take him. And she came to me and helplessly she says, my daughter is in your school and I just don't know what to do about him. Then I talked to my counselors and to my principal and I said, why can't we look after them? A school is meant to educate everyone. And I'm sure we can do it. And all my staff said, yes, of course we can do it.
Shriram School is a school with a soul. Our heart pounds for children. It's very child-centric. Everything is looked at from the child's point of view. So children from different backgrounds, different abilities, different needs are all a part of our heterogeneous classroom. And the teacher is trained to ensure that learning is joyful, experiential, and fun.
To me, inclusion means, for one, being true to the mission of our school in terms of creating an environment in which all children can fulfill their potential. And if you have that point of view, then I think that should be broad enough to be able to accommodate children who have unique and special needs, but that they also can fulfill their potential and that their unique learning needs can be met in an all-inclusive environment.
This is the EIS room. I don't know much about it, but I know there are 10 tiny cute little children inside. Let's figure it out on our own.
EIS plays a very, very imperative role for children with special needs as young as newborn till 8 years of age, where the developmental delays are detected and there's a need to fill up those gaps. A child may come at 4 years of age but is actually functioning at 2 years of age or even lesser than that. So the need is very imperative, where the children need to be prepared so that they could be ready for learning and education in a school setup. The positive thing about it is that children and their parents come to a school scenario. They are coming to a school situation. They are getting the therapy done under us in a classroom, in a big school, and I think that is very, very positive for the child and for the parent. And this kind of services are not being provided by any other mainstream school in the city.
She responded, in fact, very well. Almost she was 4 when she joined. Like, she wasn't talking much, maybe some words, but then she went from that child to a child now who can communicate in sentences, and all her wishes, the basic needs, and even some abstract thinking is coming on right now.
The response towards the teachers is so different from the other schools that she went. Not that other schools were bad teachers or something, but it is just that one needs to understand the need of such children and then have a one-to-one equation. You need to have a specific equation with the child. And when she came back after summer vacation, I was surprised to see her response. She ran and hugged her teacher, which is not something, she would say, no, I don't want to go to school. This time I heard that she ran and hugged her teacher, which is so different for the same child.
Kids that we have got from the EIS, we have been able to achieve a success rate very fast with them because they come with a very solid background of academics and very solid background of certain skills, especially perceptual skills and fine motor, that are not at all a hindrance later. So the second step we move forward is we need to make the child work in a group situation, keeping in mind that the other skills that are related which will help him adjust in a group situation should be developed as well alongside. So we work on the work skills, the social skills, the language and communication skills, we work on the perceptual skills of the children. We make sure that if it's the OT or the speech which is also required is also continued so that the child is able to work independently in a small group situation which is going to involve just 3 or 4 children together. And then when the child is able to do that, we try and place the child in the mainstream group.
The children who've been coming to me, they've been, the needs, special needs have really not been so evident. In fact, they've been more forthcoming than my mainstream children. Their hands would go up to answer every question, and sometimes they amaze me with their level of knowledge and participation. It's only over a period of time when you observe them that you realize, okay, there are certain areas which need special attention. Because they get so much of individual attention and input, it obviously gears them up very well to be a part of the mainstream.
I have a very successful program in my class which is a buddy program, and this buddy program is applicable to all children across the board. Everyone has to pitch in their best to assist their partner. It could be teaching them how to play a game, it could be assisting them in their classwork, it could be in doing little chores around the classroom, and in that sense helping a child who has special needs becomes a part of that system too. And it works very well because the load in inverts is then shared by everybody who is a member of that classroom. The responsibility is not the sole responsibility of the class teacher or the adults in that situation alone, but that of the community as a whole. One, it spreads a lot more of camaraderie amongst the class. It also gives them a sense of ownership and responsibility of the space that they belong to in that one academic year across the board. And I think for all children, that is a huge responsibility and a huge value to take forward.
Is she your friend?
My buddy.
She's your buddy? Okay. What do you people do together?
Play.
Okay.
Play. And
Why do you like being a buddy?
because I feel very like special to being my buddy, and it's like if I be a buddy, then I can sit next to the person I can talk to and help him. Alright. They can say, Neil, I give you a present, just be quiet.
Oh, and that works, huh? Then he listens to you.
See, at this age group, it's exciting to have a friend from outside come into their class who is perhaps a bit shy, and they go out of their way to make these friends comfortable. So that's the level of understanding they have. Now, what it builds into is for all of us to see.
Hi, we are from the junior school. I don't know why the school is called the junior school. The building, the classroom, and the teachers look like the seniors. I guess we are called the junior school because the canteen wala bhaiya doesn't let us buy those yummy food in cash. Anyways, I have a lot of fun here and I don't mind being called a junior.
Like I said, there's some children who are able to transact the same curriculum as in the mainstream, and they're able to perform in the mainstream, so they go to the mainstream classes. There's certain children who are able to do partially. A part of the curriculum for the mainstream, the part is adapted for them. They're still able to perform because we are still giving them a one-on-one or a small group setting, and they're able to perform. But there's certain children who are not able to go beyond a certain level. Either they plateau out, the way they proceed is at a very slower pace. So the focus shifts from the academic point of view to life skills. That we are taking a bit from the mainstream, a bit from the general daily life skills, and we adapt it so that the child is able to, at the end of the day, learn something which he can apply in his daily life.
Hi, this is my class 4B, and these are my classmates. And my teacher teaches me maths, and my classmates go with me for activities like games, art and dance. And I go for English, Hindi, maths, SST in a different class.
For me, it's been a learning experience because one realizes that each child is different. Every child has a different need. So it's exciting to kind of be able to provide that for each 28 of my kids.
They respond to you also better if you treat them along with the whole group like any other child of the group. And that's the experience which I have in my class currently, even after the children have come into my class. And that is the feedback that I'm getting from the teacher, the special needs teacher who's in my class, who also supports it. And she said that it makes a difference to the children if they are also like one of the whole class.
Every new teacher who joins us from next year, she is going to get mandatory 2 periods to handle special children or children who are differently abled. And that is important. The other thing that is very special about the school is that as teachers, as class teachers, we are very open to special educators and parents sitting in on classes. In our elementary school, there are 28 children and there are 3 educators. What better?
Teachers look upon the special educator as an additional resource in class, because she's not only there for just those 3 or 4 children there, but she's there as a support for the mainstream teachers there. Because it's, each and every child in class has a need. It could be a severe need, a mild need, or anywhere between them. That's when the whole perspective changed. And at least till primary school, I think till primary school, all children with special needs should be into a mainstream classroom.
For your child, even if he doesn't have any special needs, the awareness should be brought right from the very beginning. And how does this come about? It won't come about by taking your child for a special workshop, and meeting certain people. I don't think that will help. That will help if the schools today take on the agenda that, we should have inclusive education. Because here is a method of bringing children into contact with children who have special needs. And I've seen this happening in this very school, in Sri Ram School, where my child studies, that, there is a sensitivity developing in my child right from the very beginning. She's understanding what is the reason why this is happening.
He was crying and clapping his hands. And then he was in the library. First he stopped, he wanted to read it. He wanted to read, he wanted to see pictures, but he didn't stop crying. Actually happened, he's also with his friend. So it was making him sick, but Ishan wanted to roam all around the library class. So Ishan didn't like to be forced to sit down. So he started crying. He got him books and to see the pictures. But still he was crying. In the lunchroom he ate food, then started crying. He ate food, then started crying. His eyes were all red.
Oh, I see. Then why do you think he was crying?
We don't know.
Okay, so then what did you do? Did you all get concerned? What happened?
I got concerned. We asked him to eat him also. So we kept, when Ishan was eating food, he sat next to him. We tried to make him quiet.
Experience that the children get, it's not lecture based. That listen, today I'm going to talk about this and these are the points that I have to cover. It's not preachy in that manner. It's not that, okay, today my point of talking is this and this is about sensitization. I have to talk about sensitization, point 1, point 2, point 3. No, but it's towards building an environment of sensitization in the class, and that includes whether it's a child with Down syndrome, that includes whether it's a child with cerebral palsy, or it's any other individual who's wearing specs or who's, you know, a little not as fair as anybody else in the class. So I think all that kind of a learning, that learning that happens, it makes one child more sensitive, more tolerant, more empathetic towards another. And imagine if this were to run through nursery, kindergarten, primary classes, middle classes and senior classes. Tomorrow the society that we churn out is going to be such a socially responsible and a tolerant society.
What is your name?
Aditi.
And what is your name?
Aditi.
Both of you are Aditi?
Yeah.
Yeah? So both of you are friends?
Yeah, best friends.
So tell me, how do you like school?
Very much.
What do you like about school?
That there is a activities मन लग जाता है.
मन लग जाता है?
Yeah.
But क्या करते हो? What do you do, Aditi?
I play games.
What games? What do you like?
Scrabble. Play and arts and PE and drama and dance and all that.
Like during our form evenings or assemblies, when we have these children who are integrated with the mainstream, they come along with the other children for their activities, and for their form evenings or any assemblies, they take part as much as the others.
Forward to my doubles of games period, and I play with true sportsman spirit. Whenever I have a penalty, sir always tells me to kick the ball long and with strength and with energy.
Actually, when a child comes to us, what we do is we start working at the child's level, that is the comfort zone. And from there, the objective is, of course, to mainstream the child in as many subjects as possible. But here we go a little cautiously, and we try first when we work here in smaller groups, and when we feel the child is ready, we give the child all the skills that is required to be in a bigger classroom, and also address what his or her problem area is, and give them strategies.
What helped me most is the special individual care taken by each teacher to make learning process easier. My concentration has increased. I go for mainstream like EVS, and now I am very happy that I go for 2 subjects in mainstream in class 8 like geography and Hindi. He was my first friend when I came in school, so he helped me a lot in first, like showing ways, telling about subjects, what do you have to do.
He loves reading a lot, and then if suppose anybody is fighting, then he'll try to just stop the fight and just make peace and all.
He's not so good at studies. But he's doing well nowadays. So it's good. He's improving.
They they are with you every time you are in trouble. Like they cover you up sometimes, and they're always with you.
For me, Rishabh is no different than any of the other children in this class. He is, absolutely at ease, comfortable. We have never kind of looked at him, any differently. Everything depends on me as a teacher. My body language is the most important thing in my class. If I'm going to come with apprehensions, or if I'm going to come with the feeling that I'm being faced with a problem, then children pick it up. But if I come feeling confident and I can instill that confidence in my class and say that we are all one and the objective we are here to achieve is one, then I think that is what speaks for itself.
Hi, I'm Akriti Jain, and I'm the NIOS representative of the school.
And I'm Devika.
And we are here to tell you about the NIOS. NIOS allows us to study at our own pace, and we can even give exams when we are ready for it.
And we even come to school regularly. And then we are ready to take on the world.
Yo man, we finally did it. Yay, yay! Woo!
Here in the Sri Ram School, any child who decides to opt for the NIOS curriculum, the decision is taken by the staff, the parent and the child together. It's a three-way process. It's a three-way partnership, I would say. And once the decision is taken and they register for the NIOS, it is like any other student in the Sri Ram School. We have a set timetable for them. We conduct classes for them in a classroom situation. So just like how we have class 9, 10, 11, 12 or the IB program, we have the NIOS program running parallel with our ICSE, ISC and the IB program. They take part in the assemblies, they take part in various other workshops, the sports days. And when these children finish their class 12 or the senior secondary, they are also a part of the graduation ceremony, the farewell party, the Conti party. So they also go through the same process which any student leaving school does.
Hi, I am Sarthak. I am in pre-voc, that is pre-vocational program. My school learning is not all about how to read, write and mug. Some of us would like to build upon our other strengths, and the pre-voc program prepares us with many such skills.
The pre-vocational program has been worked out in such a way that we don't give up on education. So definitely we have functional education and a whole, it's worked out like a 4-year program. So we have 12 to 14 years and 14 to 17, where they do the basic aspects of maths and both the languages, English and Hindi, general awareness and computers. So that completes the functional education aspect. And when we come to life skills, we're really looking at things like personal care, self-care, again with other things like what is important to live in a community, like maybe skills like learning public amenities, how to use a bank, how to use an ATM, what is a post office, how can I use the services in the community. Again, emphasis on home economics, cooking, maybe simple basic cooking, non-gas cooking, but again we are focusing on the individual. We're focusing on the person being an independent adult at the end of the whole thing.
And also I'm very sure what I'm going to do on the pre-vocational program. I love small children and I will take care of them, and I will teach them how to write and how to speak politely, and that's why I want to join Teachers Aid program.
TAP is Teachers Aid program, and it is a program which was designed by the school faculty for young adults with special needs. It aims to train these young adults to become ready as teachers' aides, as assistants to teachers in preschools or primary classes. It's an 18-month program which has a theoretical component and a practical component to it. And before they are placed into schools outside the Sri Ram school, they have gone through a full internship within the school premises. Then they do an external internship in a school which is not the Sri Ram school, and their placement happens in a third school. So it's a huge preparation where the trainee, we call them as TAP trainees, where the trainee has gone through a whole rigmarole of being able to adapt themselves to new environments, to new people, to be able to adapt to new groups of children, which is not easy.
My role is to see the children, how they behave, how they interact with the teachers, giving respect, and if they're having a worksheet, see each diary, what notes have been come and what is not come, put the circulars in the diaries and give out the diaries at the end of the day.
They're so naughty, all these small little babies.
No, my Upansi is not very naughty, but sometimes I have to remind them. Like Arnav, Dhimant, Anchita, they call me boss.
They call you boss?
Yeah.
Kanika boss?
Yeah, but because they love me so much. All my children, they love me a lot.
I think the biggest satisfaction and reward is to see spring in her feet when she walks into class every morning with a sense of purpose and a sense of achievement.
When we meet our trainees who passed out 5 years back or 3 years back, it's amazing to see the transformation in them. They are like any other teacher. Shri Ram initiated this, but many mainstream schools joined hands with us in this endeavor. The principals of many mainstream schools came forward.
I'm working hard. I'm working hard to be a best teacher. Yeah, the favorite teacher and the best of the best teacher. Yeah.
What do you like about India? I see cow, I see camel, I see elephant.
Akshatam. It's a very beautiful. At night, I saw a water fountain.
For Chaoyang pupils, it is a really memorable experience for them to be leaving their home, their family, and to come to India, which is a totally different country for them. By coming here, they learn how to be independent, they learn how to look after themselves, they also learn how to interact with pupils from another country, from the Shri Ram school. And by being able to interact and mix well with these pupils, they will gain a lot from the exchange.
From the Shri Ram school perspective, I think one great learning for us have been the milestones that we've achieved with our children. Till what extent are they practical outside? Because when we take them into a society, in which they're functioning on their own, their parents are not there, they're with us, we get to see a different light. They're just not academics happening. We see them in terms of behavior, in terms of their dressing, in terms of social courtesies, and then it brings back to us that it's just not academics.
We went to a boat ride and Sentosa, meet the High Commissioner, went to do fireworks, and went to Little India and Chinatown.
On our first trip that we went, we found a marked difference in terms of curriculum. For instance, Chaoyang had a very good social competence curriculum, well developed. It brought back a learning for us that we need to get one in place.
And we're a big school, 320 teachers, to get all of those teachers to a position where they can be comfortable teaching in an environment where they have special education needs children in their classrooms. That's quite a big challenge.
We didn't want to compromise or negotiate anywhere on the quality that the school was offering, whether under the umbrella of inclusive education or whether under the in a smaller setting. So we said, okay, let's provide the teachers with support. Let's provide the teachers with training. Let's provide the teachers with workshops if they need to do it. They need to understand inclusive education, that what is it all about.
Then there was this workshop, it was called Teaching Children with Learning Disabilities. how to include them in an inclusive setup. So there again, it's like when you pick up on certain words in whatever the information that's kind of thrown at you, whatever the words that I picked up from there was giving all children equal opportunities. That kind of just sank into my mind. And I said, I agree with that 100%. And that somehow, for me, is definitely the foundation and the rationale for inclusion.
Right from orienting parents, your own students, the support staff, even as much as how do you handle. It's very easy for any employee, the support staff, bhaiya or didi, to say, hum nahi inko help nahi karenge. But teach them, orient them. Mind your language is something that we always tell them. So they are lessons not just for the teachers or for the students, they are lessons for the staff working in this school. And today, believe you me, when a support staff gets a duty with a special child, it's such a learning curve for them.
You would be surprised about how involved parents can get about us. And when their ideas get the support of the school, there is no looking back.
The parent support group programs are parent-driven, school-supported, with professionals on board. And the school plays a major role in this process because they are giving us the entire support of the premises, of getting the teachers together. There's a kind of a synergy which builds up. It's a three-pronged synergy. The parents, the teachers, as well as the facilitators. And these are the three people who are working very hard while our children have all the fun and they grow tremendously.
I done the camera, lights, directing. It has increased my confidence and encouragement. That's it.
I have done a theatre workshop, I have done a filmmaking workshop, I have done a photography workshop, and they all taught me to come forward and speak in front of public.
And now, from the world of sport to the world of creative.
After the workshop has started for us, it's a new experience for us. It's teaching us more things like how to express our emotions, how to react with situations. Dancing is another form of expressions and body language.
When I watched you on TV, I thought that, अरे वाह, ये तो सचिन तेंदुलकर के भी पापा निकले bowling में. And so I said, sir, I wanted to ask you, every time you bowled, you took a wicket. And how did you do that?
See, most of it is camera tricks.
Shriram School at the moment is poised at a beautiful moment towards inclusion, where the Parent Support Group and the Parents School Association have joined hands, and somehow the parents have come together over there, and there's a complete integration of thought and process now. And in the next academic year, we hope to do away with all the major labels which are very hurtful, and we hope to just treat our children as anyone else.
As a parent body, we are sensitized to a large extent. The children are even further sensitized. So initially there's nothing to really worry about the child, but it's a bad world outside. And what we need to really promote, I think this conference should take care of that, is sensitizing people outside the school. Sensitizing people in the larger world, that yes, they're also people like us, they also need acceptance. And as far as, getting in touch with corporates, every corporate, every government job, every company has a place for a disabled person. Why not for a differently abled? It can happen to my child, it can happen to your child. It can happen to any one of us.
I urge everyone that please help our children to find a place where they can actually show you the way.
And just in case we thought inclusive education is a one-way street, now it is time to reflect and rethink.
Well, I would in fact say it is a necessity. As a parent who is educating my children, as part of that education, to have children who are not ignorant, not prejudiced, accepting of any kind of differences, sensitive, empathetic. It is important to have integrated education. In fact, I would insist on it because I think it imparts a certain humanitarian values to my children, which is very much a part of education per se.
There is a possibility that at some point down the road we may be able to, through building a centre of excellence in terms of integrated education, to actually get involved and have some of our staff certainly get involved in doing some research and hopefully as well that we can become evidence for other schools of firstly how it can be done, but also that it can be effective and that there is nothing to fear in it.
When we say that our society needs to become inclusive, our entire education system needs to become inclusive right from play school, preschool stage till young adulthood, where children need to be included, and it is the government's stake, it is the government's responsibility and the education people who are involved in the education policies to come forward to say, to give as much training to so much of youth who's going for B.Ed training, to include special needs as one of the main specializations for teachers, so that we have good qualitative special educators coming, and then these special educators, therapists, counselors could be provided in all these play schools, mainstream schools, so that the system becomes inclusive completely.
I have my older one here, right? He once looked up all this word and was telling me that, you know, one of his favorite presidents ever was George Bush Sr. And I was a little shocked as to why. Because he put in a major law that meant that all public buildings had to have on-ramps for disabled people, right? And I think that type of sensitivity comes when children see kids, you know, that are in a wheelchair within their life, that have issues, and I think it's better for the kids as future citizens, but even for themselves to realize that we all have different struggles, and when they see other people who are differently able struggling with other things, it sort of puts their own life into perspective as well.
Government has set up a very good program called the National Trust, but the unfortunate part of it is that it is meant for only for disabilities that they have taken. We would like to push that more disabilities are taken in, because the concerns of the people with special need child, girl child, is much more. They would like a safe and secure environment, and rightly so, they keep wondering when they are not there what will happen to their girl child. That's one of the things which I want to take up. And the other thing that we've been wanting to do is that there's so many categories of disability. Government has taken, 4 or 5 categories as such. And if you don't fall in within that category, then you're not counted in it. Which is sad, because even in the employment and skills and all which they've drawn out, it's not for the attention disorder syndrome or the acutely dyslexic or for the other disabilities. So they have to be more sensitive.
If educators, policymakers, the government, the parents, senior students, psychology students, okay, all come together. We have a think tank. Let's look at the problems, the issues, and how do we resolve them? And how do we arrive in that ideal state of where each child is special? And not just a special child being special. Every child is special.
My thoughts, like a rainbow, play hide and seek, they come and go. Real, yet unreal. Yes, that's me. For a rainbow to appear. The cloud and sun make magic, my dear. No clouds, no rainbow, no sun, no rainbow. My core is like earth, dark and deep inside, with zillions of lives. Red, green, yellow, purple, blue, just think of any hue. They're there because I am.
जिंदगी जादू से कम नहीं, समझ सकते इसे हम नहीं। पहेलियों के सागर में चलो डुबकी लगाते हैं। इस तूफानी पवन से कुछ खुशियाँ ढूंढ लाते हैं।
Colors of life come from my soul. For these colors to appear, cloud and sun make magic, my dear. Inside the outside, outside the inside, this side or that side. Let's catch the rainbow.
सृष्टि है हमी से, जुड़े हम एक जमी से। बादल के चले जाने पर, सूरज के डूब जाने पर, सपने बेरंग हो जाएंगे, रिश्ते एक रंग हो जाएंगे। फिर कैसे कौन बसाएगा सबकी आंखों में इंद्रधनुष। चलो चमके आफताब की तरह, बरसे बादल बेताब की तरह, मिलके लिखे दास्तां नहीं। जिंदगी जादू से कम नहीं, समझ सकते इसे हम नहीं। पहेलियों के सागर में चलो डुबकी लगाते हैं। इस तूफानी पवन से कुछ खुशियाँ ढूंढ लाते हैं।